Futility by Werewolves, read by Deathlight. Chapter 3, Destination. The lone figure stared at the building before her with uninterested eyes. It was a box, made out of material she didn't recognize. Walking around the building, she realized each side had a door with some description. To the side of each door was a small circular impression. I stand correct. It is not a box. It is an L. After turning a corner, she realized the building was a big L shape and not merely a square. Not that that made any difference to her. Walking to one of the doors, she glanced through the impressions and noticed that the door was already taken. The impression filled with a badly eroded coin. Walking around the building again, she realized all the doors had one, all but one. Pulling out the coin, she glanced at it and paused. After a moment, she gave a shrug and inserted it, hearing a faint click. The door swung open, pushing the sand away as it swung outward. She gazed inside, towards the darkness, and listened. There was no sound. It was completely silent. Glancing behind her to the landscape, she heaved a sigh and stepped inside. There was dust everywhere, and she began taking shallow breaths so not to disturb it. Her horn flickered to life, and a small light lit her area. There were a lot of books, shimmering, barely holding on to the spells of preservation. Walking down the long corridor, she eventually saw the bookshelves end, and instead being replaced with different materials. Some seemed pointless, like fabric or some plastic apples, but at the middle section she found the jackpot. There were crates upon crates of food, stretching a fair distance in either direction. Opening one, she saw they were filled with cans. Someone inside didn't want to starve, that was for sure. Her ear twitched as a click sounded, and a chill entered her spine. There were 5 dead bodies. She turned frantically towards the direction of the door and began to run. The door was already halfway closed. No, she wasn't going to make it, and she was going to be trapped in here, and... Silence. No, don't leave me in here! The lone mare fell to the floor and felt all of her strength leave her. She was trapped. No, magic still might help. She stood up and aimed a spell to disintegrate the door like she did to the spikes. It hit the door and dissipated, and she realized with a sinking heart that the material was... This building was made out of a magical material that made this a pure magical sinkhole. Meaning, magic was useless. Even now, she could feel the pressure on her horn, daring her to use a spell other than a simple light spell. She was trapped. Twilight Log 50. 1 day since last oasis. After being trapped in what I assume is an archive of my own folly, I have begun going through what supplies I have inside here. I have enough food for years, and there seems to be a natural spring in one corner, amazingly brimming with water. I have filled my bottles in case it dries up, but I doubt it will for years. The fabric was useful to make myself some clothes to keep myself warm, and it was a godsend in disguise. After being blessed with the sun for so long, I didn't realize how much I needed warmth to live. I also found a large group of lanterns powered by both oil, which there are also crates of, and magic. I plan to use magic so I can keep the oil for emergencies. There are also some cooking supplies, which means I'll be able to cook my food much easier. There are enough magic and oil too, but I wonder why they're put in an archive. In the final corner of the room, there is some exercise equipment. It is probably a good thing. It means I will not lose my fitness if I ever happen to get out of here. All in all, it seemed as if the builder wanted to make the ponies who fell for the trap as comfortable as they could as they slowly died. I shall try to look into it. I will end this entry off with a note about the books. There are a large range of books here. almost filled up half the section of the L. There are books in medical, mechanical, and philosophical. I couldn't help but feel a little excitement enter me as I think of what I will learn. But first, I will start with a book titled How to Use the Appliances in This Building. Those made to last even longer than the others. I wonder who wrote these books. I wonder who made this building. I wonder why I was brought here only to die. I wish I could ask the other 5 ponies, but they are long dead. But it is also strange how they are perfectly preserved. I wonder how they got like that. They have a similar spell cast on them to the books, which is strange. Why would someone want to put 5 dead ponies in a position where their bodies would live forever? Well, maybe not forever, but a very long time. Either way, time will tell, or not. I really don't seem to have a say in this. It looks like I will die in here, of old age or starvation, I do not know yet. But maybe the answers lie in these books. I will keep this log as updated as I can. Time is harder to judge in here, but not much harder. I'm not used to having a clock to go by. However, the small calendar in the corner of the middle, near the cooking appliances and food, concerns me. It seems to be counting down to something. I hope I'm not around to see what it is, but I have a sneaking suspicion I will be.